Sorry, guys. All right, we'll record it. So I'll just repeat that. So, guys, we're on the recording. We're talking about daily routines, okay, and being clear with what you want. You have to have a plan of action. You have to have what kind of goals you want to accomplish throughout the day, and doing things with a purpose. That's very, 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 very important. And understanding the overall outcome, the overall result that you want each and every day. And the reason why, I'd like to break my daily routines, and I see a long-term vision. That's like the biggest thing for me. So, I see 12 months, 24 months, 5 years down the road with where I want to be. And I break that up into smaller visions. That's my long-term vision. And I break it up into even smaller visions. And I call that, from what I've learned, 90-day increments. That's something that we can kind of swallow, we can handle. Okay. And I even break that up even further when I guide people when they come into the team. I guide them into like 30-day, 2-week increments. And we do like these check-ins. And I do that for myself. Alex and I, we like work together and we talk about these things, and what we're accomplishing, our progress and things like that. And that's why it's so important. If you don't have that support system, you don't have that somebody that you can go to and talk to things about, or like kind of be like, okay, hey, can you check this out? Or, this is my progress, and, kind of keeping each other in check. That's always really important. But I know Jason Brown says, you don't have you don't have accountability until you have self-accountability. And that's something that you have to develop over time. And it's just a growing process. It's just a journey that you have to kind of embrace. Everybody's going to have a process. Your process is going to be a little different from somebody else's. And that's okay, because at the outcome of that, the process is just learning how to become better and more efficient and effective at what you're doing. Okay. So you have to understand the bigger picture. Like, why are you doing these things every day? What that is going to, accumulate to a weekly goal that's going to eventually accumulate to a monthly goal, a yearly goal. What are you getting after at the end of the day? You know what I mean? And so you have to understand that. You have to be very, very clear with what you're doing every single day. So I like to break things up into 90-day increments. And so being very, very organized with how I create my daily routine. I write down like the top 5 things that I have to do every single day. And I don't fall asleep until I do them. And some of them is I have to get, it's more than 2, but people on this call, people that are just starting, 2 exposures every single day. At least, even if I have a slow day, or if I have like a really rambunctious, busy day, still 2 exposures. And what helps me get those 2 exposures is the fact that my content is always on point, because people just come to me. You're going to get to a point. I know Abu is in a situation right now, but people just kind of come to you. And it makes your job so much easier because it's now not a job. You're not trading your time to message all these people. I only message people to get more blood to look at my stuff. Okay. Half the time, more people are just messaging me at the end of the day. And that's what you want. That's what creates duplication. That's what creates momentum. That's just like one of the things that I focus on every single day. Yeah. Still message 15 new people a day. I always say 30, but it ends up being way more just because you're so deep into it and you're following up with people and all these other things. But yeah, you need to have a set number with how many people that you reach out to and be consistent with that number. Because I promise you, Alex just started doing that Snapchat Tinder call that I did, that implementing that strategy a couple weeks ago. Her Tinder and her Snapchat is blowing up. Like right now, her Snapchat is like over 30 plus people messaging her. And she's like, Abby, I can't even like keep up with this. I was like, it's okay. Like they're on your time. And that's what you have to get to the point. She has over 70 unread messages in Tinder. That's what you get. And if you're a guy, you might be intimidated by Tinder a little bit. Try Bumble. Okay. Try Bumble. But guys, like this stuff works. I want to say this really quick. When I first started, Abu can tell you, I didn't even know what I was doing. He just told me, hey, Abby, you should try Tinder out. And I was like, okay. And I tried it, and that's what got me to Plat 600. That's what got me to Plat 1000. And then I had my own journey, and I kind of got complacent, and I tried something else and was, just trying to find myself in the mix. And here we are later, finding myself going back right into it, but having a strategy, having something that I can fall into and catch my groove. And now I want to allow you guys to apply it. And if it works, go for it. If it doesn't, find something that works for you. It's all about how you function. You have to be aware of how you work. You have to be emotionally aware of, how your day is going, and understanding that everything's not going to always go your way. Even if you have a plan, I have a plan every single day, but I understand that life happens And that's just the nature of the beast. Shit is going to happen, and it's going to mess up your plan, and that's okay. We are entrepreneurs. We are people that can adapt. That's really what it is. Okay, we can adapt to new circumstances. We can adapt to new solutions, because it's never about what happens to us. It's always how we respond to whatever is happening to us. Okay, so I like to break things up into 90-day increments, seeing the larger picture, the larger vision, and breaking up into smaller visions for myself, because that kind of allows me to see the bigger picture without like getting intimidated by it. You know what I mean? And so the biggest thing with that is, we were just going over this yesterday. I like to do this at the beginning of the month, but we got really inspired yesterday, so we did it again. So, so with that being said, we wrote up every day in 90-day increments. So we started from now, and we basically just said till March 31st, because that would be the first quarter of the year, 90 days. And then we did the next 90 days, the next 90 days, and the next 90 days. In 2018, I'll be chairman. She will be chairman. Everybody on this call who is serious about building, you guys need to understand, do I want to go chairman in 2018? Okay, that should be your goal. But then you break it up into little subgroups. You know, how many people do I want to have? You know, I want 12 or more Plat 1000s, right? And I can foresee, okay, 4 or 5 Plat 2Ks and above, 7 or 8 Plat 1000s in that mix, 10 Plat 600s, and 100 customers that have their 2 and free. That is well over 500 people for Chairman 10, because you can't get to Chairman 10 by yourself. So you have to help other people on your team get to where they need to be, get to where they want to be, and developing them. Okay. So that's like the biggest thing. I know I'm kind of drifting away, but having the 90-day goals, having the 90-day increments, and not just like the building side, but also the trading side. You know, how many pips you want to be catching? How much money do you foresee yourself? How much money do you have in the bank for yourself? Okay. All these things you need to write down. I think I wrote this quote the other day, and I saw it from somewhere. It was like, you have to write on paper to get that paper. And I was like, yo, I love that. Like, you should always, like, everybody on this call should be taking notes in some way, shape, or form. Okay. And writing it down does something with your brain. It like just clicks. Okay. That's like, it's better than just writing it on your phone or something. I don't know. Something about a pen and paper just makes sense with yourself. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I focus on when I plan out my day. I have to know the long-term vision, and I already have that established. So now I know how to design my days, how to design my weeks, how to design my months. What do I want my overall monthly outcome? For me, I have a certain amount of pips I want to catch every time I trade, and I only want to trade, like, this has just come up this past Thursday when we went to that meeting, but I only want to trade live on my own account 3 days out of the week. I'll do the web analyzer, I'll do the scanner, I'll take swipe trades all day long. But for me personally, with my own setups, 3 days. And that'll be for a separate call we'll talk about. You know I want to catch 50 pips per trade. So if I put in 5 trades, 50 pips per trade, that's my goal. And you have a stop profit. You know, all these things you have to be conscious of, you have to be aware of. And what does that equate to? On a 0.1 lot, 50 pips times 5 trades, you do the math, that's $250. You make $250 to $300. You make $300 a week. Understand me? $300 a week times 4. That's $1,200 extra a month. Can you do that? That's numbers, you know. And if you're just starting off, it's okay. I was there. There's people on this call that just started off and was there with 0.01s, and that's okay, because your first like 30, 60 days, 90 days, you are literally just practicing. You're always practicing. You're always learning. But you have to understand that we're not here right now at the moment to get this money really quick. We're here to learn the skill set, because once we understand the skill set, it's going to pay us for the rest of our life. But it's just understanding what you want within those 90-day frame periods, and setting up your day every single day to achieve those goals. Okay. But yeah, that's like it. I'm going to probably think of something else, but I'm going to run through how I do my day, and you guys can kind of, you know, take it as you will. But you know, throughout the week, it's a little different than the weekend, and it's always changing depending on the calls and stuff. But usually on Monday through Friday, creepy dad. Hello. Okay. So I start off with waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and that's crazy because I used to wake up at 3:30 a year ago to go to the gym. But now I've kind of stepped back, and I understand that I'm a morning person. Like, when I stay up late, my whole day is so screwed up. And that's something that you guys need to figure out. Like, I'm pretty sure Abu is a night person. When he stayed with us, he was a night owl, and I was like, yo, I cannot even stay up past 11. So I know that I'm a morning person, and I know when I want to trade. So you guys need to understand that for yourself. So I wake up 4:30 in the morning, I stretch, I drink my water, and I review my goals for the day, and I visualize my future. And I want to read this to you guys. Alex Morton put this up. He said, before you go to sleep and before you like really start your day, visualize exactly what you desire. Visualize exactly what you want. Imagine it's already here. You already have it. Once the mind accepts it as truth, it will begin to manifest it. So every morning I wake up and I see my goals. I review my goals from the night before that I write down, and I visualize where I'm going. I visualize my future, that I already have it. Because your brain, your mind, your subconscious mind, I believe, cannot tell the difference between what's actually real and what's your imagination. So imagine all you want. You know, the biggest thing between successful and unsuccessful people is the fact that successful people, they have an imagination that's real. Everybody can imagine. Anybody can, visualize something. But to accept that it's real, that's what kind of determines if you're actually going to get what you want and manifest it. A lot of people don't believe that they can actually create their dream. And we're creators by, we're innate creators, and you're creating your reality. The reality that you're living in right now, you created that. Okay? So if you're pissed off, you're mad about it, figure out a solution. Let's do it now. Let's do it now, not tomorrow. And do not wait till the new year, because that's what everybody is doing. Everybody is waiting till the new year. And if you're going to wait till the new year like everybody else, you're going to get results just like everybody else. And we already know how everybody else lives. They're broke, they're unhappy, and they don't like what they're doing. They're just kind of going through the motions. So we need to step up. We need to have a plan of action, and we need to figure it out now and figure out what you want and start visualizing those goals in your future. So I do that for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I go and I work out. Luckily, my gym is right downstairs, so I can go just walk to it. So I work out at like 5. I get my cardio, my lift in, and then I shower, and then I watch Lex Waves at 6 in the morning, my time. You guys are on different time zones, so it might be different. But I watch him, and I'm marking up charts at the same time with what he's doing. And I like that time because I've noticed, and oh my God, guys, like what they went over the other night is just blowing my mind. It's just like, why didn't I see this? It was like, you have everything, and it was just like, click. It was like all like right there. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to prioritize New York session because I saw all the movement was happening. Like, yeah, London is good. Don't get me wrong. I prioritized London for a long time, and I made money with it. But I was seeing the real movements with New York session. I was like, yo, what the heck am I missing here? So prioritizing Lex Waves in the morning, he's already really good, and he shows you what to do. So I mark up my charts with that, and I see, and a lot of the news happens at that time. I'm not like a fundamental trader. I don't want to say that, but I do use the news to help push the market in the direction that I want it to go. And so I'm able to capitalize on that movement. Sometimes it's 50 pips, 100 pips. Like the other morning with Euro JPY, that was insane. And even Euro USD, that was all on New York session. Boom, right when the news happened. So that's what I focus on. Okay, and then I eat, in between, and then by 7:15, I'm reading. I don't have to be able to work till like 8:30. So I'm reading for like 30 minutes, and I'm taking notes. Okay, because I don't really like to pick up a book and read, but I'm starting to create that as a habit for myself because I know it's important. And then the one thing that I do when I leave for work is I'm listening to the morning motivation. I know a lot of you guys just like in IML, because there's only like 200 people on that call, and there's like 30,000 people in IML. Guys, it's 5 to 10 minutes long. You are like, just literally listen to it. Just listen to it. I don't even have to watch it. I'm just listening. That shit is amazing. They were talking about, what if somebody says, oh, this is a pyramid scheme? The response he was saying was just like genius. And you get to hear different perspectives on different scenarios. And it's just like, damn, I was struggling with this problem. And I heard so many different things this past week, and I was like, yo, that makes sense. Like, and I was writing it down, and they had the recordings too, but it's just easier to listen to it live, 5-10 minutes. It's so simple. And I put the links in the chat, so you guys should just click on it. But I listened to that on my way to work. And then when I get to work, my job's a little different than you guys. I sell insurance and my hours are pretty flexible, and I'm able to really kind of control my schedule and things like that and do what I want. But you guys need to figure this out for yourself. But when I get to work, kind of settle myself in, and I do my work, but I focus on what I need to do with this. And I message 30 plus people on Tinder. I'll basically just swipe right 30 times. Okay. And then from there, I'll message back all the unread messages that I didn't message from yesterday. And then I'll literally just say, you guys can go back and watch that video, but I'll literally just say, hey, and I'll say their name. Hey, Tony, what's going on? Good morning, emoji. And that's it. And then sometimes people are actually up and they'll message you back right away. And that gives me an opportunity to message back really quickly. If they say, oh yeah, I'm heading to work right now, or I just got out of bed or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What's going on with your day, or where do you work? And then I'll literally say right after that, by the way, do you have Snapchat? Done with the conversation. They'll say, yeah, I do. Here's my user. Or I'll ask for it later on that afternoon. But then I'm done. I'm done with the conversation. That's it. And I get them to Snapchat. Like just this morning alone, it's 9:30 here almost. I've already had 10 people add me, and I just woke up like an hour ago. And I was in my sleep. I woke up and I was like, damn, cool. Let's do it. Just because of the work I did yesterday. And in the afternoons, like it's so much more because I'm already messaging people in the mornings. So I message like 30 people on Tinder, 30 plus people on Tinder, and then I'll message back all unread messages, whether that's on Tinder, whether that's on Snapchat, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform it is. I just message everybody back. And then I turn off my notifications because everybody's on my time and I need to focus on what I need to focus on. And I'll go back that afternoon, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and I'll message people back. But when you have people coming to you, it's so much easier when you're not like begging for people, because that's how I was when I first started. I was like, oh my God, like I need to get this sign up. And it doesn't have to be like that. So I turn off my notifications. Once I do that, that's like maybe for 30 minutes to an hour, just depends. And then I'll literally have my charts open, the web analyzer and the scanner open at my desk all day long. And I'm just waiting for a setup. And I'm obviously doing my work, but I'm just waiting for setups, and I can mark up charts. So that's what I do. And you guys may have a different scenario and you have to kind of play with it with what you do, but this is how I kind of break it up. When I'm home, when I'm on calls, I still have the web analyzer up. I still have the scanner up because and I still have the charts up that I'm looking at because I'm always waiting for a setup. Always, because I know that there's always setups there. But if it's not for me, I don't rush it. I don't trade it. It's okay because I know that there's always going to be setups. But I'm always having opportunity open for me by allowing the sites to be open. So anyway, I go to work and then I leave. And then when I leave, I'm either on a call, crazy enough, or I'm listening to like an audio or a podcast on my way home. Okay. And then when I get home, I quickly eat something, and I literally have calls from like 3:30. I try to cut it off at like 7, but sometimes, with the time zones, I don't mind doing it later. So in between, I'm like doing other stuff. But I will literally have calls from like 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. every day, just like back to back. And if I don't have a call in between, I'm most likely reading or listening to like a personal development audio or something, or I'm following up with somebody. Like 3 of those things, whatever. Like, because you feel differently every single day, and you got to put yourself in a certain vibration. And if I'm not feeling a certain way, like I'll go and read. Maybe I need to get my mind out of my phone for a second. Or, maybe I'm just like, yo, I'm on a roll with this. I just got 2 signups. I got to get back into this, right? You just feel like you have that momentum created. Well, I'll go and message more people. It's just really whatever you want to do. Or maybe I'm like, I don't want to read. I just want to listen to something. Well, go and do that. Be flexible, okay? Be flexible with what you want to do. But typically I will set up like 30 minutes to an hour to follow up with people in the afternoon. I used to do it throughout the whole day. And I realized like that wasn't really sustainable for me because I don't want this messaging to control me. I want to do my messaging in the morning, get them to funnel to my Snapchat, the platform that I choose that I want people to come to, which has been working best for me. And then in the afternoon, I dedicate some time to follow up with people. And, sometimes if the conversation is good, I'll carry it on. I don't mind, especially if it's on Snapchat. Let's go for it. But if they're just like, annoying little assholes, I'll probably just block them or something. But in the evening, I'll dedicate 2 to 2.5 hours to watching IML TV. Okay. So I'll watch at least 2 sessions of IML TV. Actually, it's like 3 because I watch New York session in the morning. So New York session in the morning and then 2 sessions in the evening recorded. Most likely they're recorded, and that's fine. Like, I don't mind watching London session recorded, or I like also Leon Davies recorded, because I don't usually, like, I'm focusing more on New York session for when I trade, but I still like their trading style. So I still trying to, sharpen the blade with rewatching them. Or I'll watch technical analysis, or I'll watch 2 or 3 intermediate or advanced videos. I've already been through the entire academy, but it's solid when you go back to it again. Okay, you just see it in a different way. So that's guys, I go to bed. Typically, it's been like kind of crazy, but I've been trying to go to bed at like 9:30, 10. And I know that's like, oh, Abby, that's early. I'm like, well, it works for me. You guys got to figure out what works best for you. Okay, because I know, like, I do not function the best if I do not work out. And I know, like, this whole year has been crazy and I haven't been working out like I should be. But I know that I need to start. And so I've been implementing this new routine, and it's really been helping me. So I go to bed pretty early compared to most people, but that's just what works for me. And you guys need to figure out what works best for you. Okay. But before I go to bed, Alex and I both, we always write out our goals for the next day, and we just visualize the future. We're just like, yeah, we have like 20K in the bank. We're making 30K a year, 30K a month. Holy crap, 30K a month. Okay. And we see our goals for the end of 2018 and so on. And all the places that we want to travel, all the places that we want to launch in, we write it down. We see it. You have to see it. You have to believe it. You have to believe it first. Then you'll see it. Okay. So that's kind of my breakdown throughout the week. My weekend is kind of like, I'm out of town today. So she's waking up right now. So like today I woke up, and I kind of did my thing. I stretched and, got on this call, and then we got some like other stuff planned. So it's up in the air, you have to just figure out what works best for you at the end of the day. And I used to compare myself all the time to other people. It's like, oh, well, this guy's doing this guy's staying up, this guy's doing that. It doesn't matter. You have to focus on what works best for you. And when you have a trading plan, that makes everything like just solid, because I know how many pips I want to catch per day. I know what sessions I want to trade in. I know what pairs I trade. I know all of that. And so I prioritize the time periods that I want to trade, and I get in. If I catch 50 pips in the morning and I make $300, $400, whatever it is, I'm done for the day. I don't need to stay up for London and try to catch more pips. No, I'll wait and I'll watch the recording the next day. That works for me. You guys need to figure out what works best for you. And I know my day sucks when I stay up till 2 a.m. I don't work out the next day. I can't even stay up for New York. And I don't usually even trade in London. I used to, like, a lot, but it wasn't like, I never had a plan for what I was doing. And after seeing what Edwin showed us in that guy's sack the other day, oh my God, it was just like, yo, all the movements are in New York. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. But anyway, guys, I'm kind of going on a tangent. I'm just really pumped up right now. And Salt Lake is cold as hell. Like, coming from Arizona, it's been like 75, 79 degrees. And it's like 18 here in the mornings. I'm just kidding. It's we're just being little babies. We're kind of spoiled in Arizona. So anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna quiet really quick. If anybody has any questions or wants to go over something, unmute yourself and ask me.
Can you do a call of the trading plan that you learned yesterday?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll have Edwin to come on too, because we're gonna meet up today, and I was so excited of the stuff that he's about to go. Like, we went over. So guys, we saw him at his work yesterday. It's just like, you know how when you see people, like Abu and I, we were on calls like every single day for like 3 months, and then he finally came and like lived with us, and it was like, wow, you're a real person. And it's just like that feeling, because Edwin and I have been talking for a long time, and it's just like, damn, you finally meet him in person, and he's at his like job location and all these other things. And yeah, Edwin is like, if you guys haven't met Edwin, I know Abu you have, but like, if you have not met Edwin, oh my God, he will spoil you. He will spoil you. Like, he is the most genuine, down to earth, like selfless individual I have ever met. Like, Alex and I were looking at each other like, holy crap, this dude, what is like he just is a giver. But anyways, yeah, we're going over some stuff today, And we'll definitely get a call going and to go over this stuff because it is game changing. It is game changing. If you guys just understand $300 to $400 a week times 4 weeks, that's $1,200 extra dollars a month. That's my rent. So that would be nice. So anyways, I'm just saying that's really good. But yeah, we'll definitely get a call going because I told Alex, I was like, if we went home right now after that training, I was like, my weekend would be solid because I just learned everything I needed to know. Let me see. Question: how much time during the day do you spend trading? Is it? Yeah. So Carlos, I only really trade. If it's my own live trades, it'll be on New York session. But I'll take trades from the web analyzer all day long. I'll take trades if the scanner has a trade set up. I'll take the scanner trade. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. And then swipe trades. I'll take the swipe trades too. But if they're my own personal trades, it's been mostly around New York session. So for me, Mountain Standard Time, that's like anywhere between 5 and 7 a.m., 5:30, 7 a.m., whatever. And the other thing too, I'll say this really quick because this was really important when they talked about, I'm going to share my screen really quick. When they talked about, this one. What was it? You guys can see this really quick. They talked about session breaks and the importance of not trading when the session is like restarting for the day. So I'm going to go to EuroUSD. Y'all are going to see the madness really quick. But I was just kind of going crazy with it. So anyways, this is the chart. We put in the session breaks. They said do not ever trade during the session breaks because that's when the market is resetting and the spreads are supposed to be higher and you don't want to trade during those times. But I'll go over everything else. We'll go over everything else. We'll schedule a call and everything because this stuff, oh my God. Like Alex and I looked at each other like, crying. This was amazing because it's gonna change the trading game, like seriously. So anyways, that was just like the one thing I wanted to say. The session, don't trade during the session breaks. So, but yeah, do you guys have any other questions or anything else that you wanted to say?
So when you said the session breaks, pretty much that's when the market can either go up or down, right? It's like pretty much just like unstable at that point when people try to trade.
I guess so. They had a more in-depth explanation that I wrote in my notes, but I don't have right now. But basically, they just said, do you remember, Al? Don't trade during the session breaks because the spreads are high. It's like the reset of the day. It's consolidating. There's really nothing happening. And you don't want to be stuck in consolidation. But yeah. So. But anything else, y'all? I hope you guys have a great weekend and get a daily routine in place. Like that's successful people have a routine. They have a plan of action. So if you don't have a plan, it means that you are not taking what you're doing seriously. If you don't have a trading plan, you're not taking trading seriously. If you don't have a life plan, you ain't taking your life seriously. So you have to establish a plan of action for what you're doing. Okay? Take yourself seriously because if you don't, nobody else will. Okay? I appreciate you all hopping on. Like seriously, I say this all the time, but I do these Saturday team calls for you guys at the end of the day. It's literally everything that I've learned from throughout the weeks that I've kind of compiled and put together, and I bring it to the table for you guys. It's none of my own, it's none of my own information. It's information that I've pulled from other successful people, books, audios, real life mentors, okay? Christopher Derrick, all these kinds of people, and I bring it to you guys because what this whole thing is about development. It's all about growing. It's all about learning and becoming the best or the most efficient and effective at whatever your focus is on. And if I can bring more value to the table for you guys every week, just once a week for 30, 40 minutes throughout the day, let's do it. But and if you guys have any ideas for like future Saturday team calls, let me know. Like you're like, Abby, can you like go over this? Or can you look into this and talk about it? Yeah, let's do it. But other than that, guys, I really do sincerely appreciate you guys jumping on these calls every Saturday consistently. My mentor always told me, the person that shows up will go up, or I like to say will grow up. You have to continue to show up to grow up. So anyways, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. I'm going to kick it with Edwin tonight, Alex tonight, and we're going to bring back some like insane value for the team next week. But I'll chat with you guys later. Appreciate y'all. Adios.